Bloom Apartments brings you an exceptional offer. For a limited time, get 2 months free, plus their unique all-inclusive package. Not bad for finding your secret garden in the heart of Gatineau. Visit bloomapartments.com.
Why is it so hard to get your tubes tied as an adult woman? Yesterday, we spoke to a doctor about what you need to know before getting a vasectomy, and the day before, we told you the story of this single, childless, 27-year-old Quebec man who got the snip. So when we were discussing this yesterday, we had a listener reach out. She's a woman, decade older than that 27-year-old Quebec man, says her OBGYN won't give her a tubal ligation on the off chance her future partner wants children. Jennifer Toombs is on the line. Jennifer, thank you for reaching out, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So why don't you tell our listeners a bit about your journey and why you've wanted to get your tubes tied for quite some time?
Ever since I was a teenager, I've always known I have not wanted to have kids. It's not that I don't like kids. I don't like them at all. It's just I don't want to bear any children myself. I do know that there are many kids out there that are in homes that need a good home, and me not bearing children does not prevent me from offering that to somebody in need. So my mom, she had kids. She had my sisters when I was about 11 years old, and I played a huge role in helping my parents raise my sisters. And, even to this day, my sisters, they laugh and they joke around and they call me mom number 2, right?
Huh.
So, and while they were growing up, all of their friends, the neighborhood kids, would come over to our house and play, and I would be like the person in charge, kind of watching over them, making sure they were fine, giving them their snacks, making sure they had their water, their juice, or every little thing, making the games up, just having fun with them. So I went to go see my doctor. I think I was about 15 at the time. And then I'm like, I know I don't want to have kids. She's like, look, you're way too young to have your tubes tied. You're not even 19. You don't have a boyfriend. You're still young. You're still naive. So she's like, wait, think about it. When the time comes, like when you have a boyfriend and all that stuff, we'll see again. Maybe your opinion will change.
And
yes, go on.
And through the years, Jennifer, that opinion has not changed. You've remained steadfast.
It has not changed.
And how many times have you tried through the years now to get this procedure done?
Well, in the last 22 years, I've had 2 different doctors because I've moved, right? So my first doctor was on the island. My second doctor was off the island. And both doctors have said the same thing. I've asked every single checkup, can I have my tubes tied? No, you're still too young. Come back to see me. And one doctor, even Joe's like, well, come back to see me in 20 years, And I'm like, okay, well, 20 years later, here I am, still asking the same thing. And she's like, no, I can't do that. I might risk my license. I'm like, well, how are you risking your license? I'm aware of the risks. I am aware that it's permanent. I am aware that, I'm aware of all of the consequences. I am aware of everything. I am a consenting adult. I will even sign a waiver saying that if after the procedure years down the line, I do in fact want children and I change my mind and I'm sad and mad and whatever, I will not go after you because this was solely my decision. And she's like, no, I can't do that.
And you said, I just want to pick up there. You said she there, right? So, let's talk about this. We're with Jennifer Toombs, 37 years old, Quebec woman. Has been trying to get her tubes tied for years and years, and just faces roadblocks dealing with her doctors. So even women doctors will refuse your request. Do you find that surprising?
They actually find it surprising that I do not want to be a mother. They can't believe that a woman does not want to be a mother. So I think that's also part of one of the reasons why they refuse to do it, because they're like, well, you're just going to want to be a mother one day. Once you meet the right man, your mind is going to change.
And Jennifer, I'm frustrated just listening to what you had to.
I've been frustrated for the last 20 years, Elias.
My goodness, and just to listen to that. Let me just listen. I'll throw one thing at you, which I wonder if this is the root cause of what you've been going through, right? Because
right.
I do have that example of a friend who was steadfast. I'm never going to have kids. Mm-hmm. Then at age 35, they had kids and they wanted to have kids, right? Do you think it's that what's going on? Like these doctors are like, well, there was that one time, so now they'll impose that on everyone.
Well, that's exactly what one of them told me as well. And I'm like, well, at the age I'm at now, 37 years old, what are the chances that the person that I am going to meet does not already have kids of his own from a previous relationship?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so I can be motherly and loving in that sense as well. I don't necessarily have to bear the child in order to be able to care for it.
Jennifer, what are the risks, right? If you do this procedure, what are the risks that they're concerned about?
Well, I mean, there are different types of tubal ligation, right? You can have your tubes clipped. You can have the canal actually severed, so there is no connection. I mean, if you just have them clipped, the clip can fall off, and the procedure is not 100%, right? So the chance of pregnancy is still there, you know, and then they're going to tell you, yeah, but that doesn't prevent you from getting STDs. I completely am aware of that. That is not what I'm talking about here. I just want to not be able to get pregnant, you know. I mean, I am aware of all of the other risks of intercourse, trust me. It's just the pregnancy part that I do not want to put my body through. And also the fact that I had to take birth control, which messes up the system, right, for 10 years because I was not able to get my tubal ligation.
And I would imagine, and Jennifer, it's even more frustrating. Over the last couple of days, you're listening to our show, and you hear a story of a 27-year-old, government's paying for it. We have a doctor on yesterday, and he's like, "Hey, my business has never been better, and it's a 5-minute procedure, and it's snip, snip."
Exactly. This guy, he had it paid for him. And one of my coworkers, who is 2 years younger than the guy in the news, he's 25. He went to a private clinic, and he paid to have, you know, the snip. So I'm like, how the heck is a 25-year-old, this 27-year-old, these are both males, you know, they're being sterilized, and then you have women here that are fighting to, you know, in the States trying to fight for their right to have an abortion if, you know, they don't want to bear a child. So if we can't have an abortion, can we have our tubes tied? Well, apparently we can't because women do not have that right.
Well, Jennifer, let me tell you something. During our interview, my text line is going crazy here with notes from listeners that have faced exactly what you're facing.
Really?
And I also got, listen, I'm going to be sending you a text message from a listener who had success, age 23, got their tubes tied, and they have a doctor that they'll recommend to you. But I have another Jennifer listening to the show and says this: I had my son at 29 years old, Elias. And just got another text. My line's blowing up. I lost my place. Okay, I had my son at 29 years old. I asked my doc for tubal ligation every year thereafter, only to be told no. My doctor finally said yes at age 40. That's from another Jennifer. Jennifer, listen, thanks for coming on. Like I said, yeah, you are hitting a nerve with a lot of people this morning that feel your frustration. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for having me, Elias. Have a good day.
You too. That's Jennifer Toombs, 37 years old, trying to get her tubes tied.